Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Mokonoman at YouTube with another model review and tutorial. Today we'll be looking at Photo-Etch, specially for mecha, science fiction, Gundam models. We've got some examples here from China, from Modeller's Workshop, import. We've got these special vents by AW, and they're circular, and they taper to smaller and smaller sizes that you could put where appropriate. Then we've got these, not too sure what they are. They look cool, mounting points, brackets, or axis hatches, and they get smaller so they can fit somewhere. These are specially made and released by Harry in Australia. So these are 1/100 V-fins of the metal, and you replace them for the plastic ones, so they're sharper, they're thinner, they're more interesting. And these ones, which are very exclusive, are information plates that would replace decals. So you could have a weathered model and whatnot. So quite cool. We're going to denub them, apply them to a kit appropriately, treat them and prime them, and have a look at the finished result. To make sure they fit well, I've built them, filled any sand lines, sanded them, primed them, sanded them again, so they're perfect. You don't want to have too many coats of primer on Photo-Etch, so you want to have the part ready to go. We'll glue down the etch, prime, and go straight into painting. Using a Gundam marker, I have marked where I would like to place them for easier application via eye. So we're going to quickly prepare it. We've got two ways around it. We can brush on this Mr. Metal Primer, or we're going to braise it by hitting it with a bit of a flame to rough it up a bit. This also does not necessarily need to happen if you use an etch primer, though this is just easier. Get a bit of a flame, and what you're doing is you're just heating it up until it slightly changes colour. It corrodes the metal a bit and just makes it a bit rough to attach paint. Metal is non-porous, it's very smooth, and it's very hard for paint to attach to it. If you are under 18 or doing it in your mother's house, using matches, lighters, whatever, ask permission, do it under supervision, make sure there's no flammables around you like this sort of stuff. And then using a very flush sharp knife, you're going to cut it out and bend it. This is a prototype, very early, difficult to cut. The later models released will be a little bit easier. It is steel after all. Now we could use multiple amounts of glue. Super glue will make it glue instantly, but be hard to position. PVA or wood glue is very slow, slightly weaker adhesion, though applied enough and not to flood the detail, you have time to move the piece around. So within this box, I'm colouring it in with PVA glue. We pick up the etch bit with a knife. Oh, that's not really working. There we go. Place it on the surface, and we position it into place. Careful not to get any of the glue on top of the detail, as it is fine to the micron, and glue would disturb it a bit. So there you go. We allow ample amount of time for that to dry, and we might clean up the edges a bit with a Q-tip. Going to the other type, these might have plastic on both sides, so you want to peel one side first. They are a tad on the sticky side. So whatever you do, you don't take the back plastic off, because these are not connected by nubs or sprues, but on the plastic. Also be careful not to drop them, as they're not the cheapest. This piece has already got PVA glue smeared on it. We get the right orientation going, and we push it over where the Gundam marker is. Once in place, we mop up the rest of the PVA glue and allow it to dry. Here's the other side in evidence. Using the metal primer, all we're doing is brushing it on. Doesn't matter if it goes on the round surrounding plastic. It is a very slow drying solution, but it goes quite flat. And we shall get a bit more on the magnet. And there you go. So leave that for an hour or so. So having a quick look before we airbrush some primer. We've buffed the metal primer and glue around. So we've got the circular piece right here. And we have the writing nameplate right on top of the jetpack. We'll chuck a grey primer on it and we'll see how it contours to the surface.
Capsule and supplement form, and they're trying to work out.
So we've laid down some primer, getting ready for paint. This is the information name tag, and it's come out quite well. You can see no glue scum around the actual plate, and it looks like it actually belongs there. Matches into the detail quite nicely. And the circular vent bit is just a nicely bit of raised detail in a fairly boring flat surface. Realistically, any sort of area that these details just look suitable, they just sit in absolutely flush, and you can decorate and detail any part of a model as you desire with whatever for-purpose set you can find, or universal set that's out there. Absolutely suitable, and as per the video, very easy to use. So if you ever come across Photo-Etch for mecha kits, especially for a particular kit or universal, do not be afraid to use it. Very easy to apply. It sits under primer, you paint over it, no drama, and this is pretty much living evidence of it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content, and catch you guys next time.